How's it going, everybody? My name is Fynnpire. We have a very special Slime Rancher video for you today. We're going to be taking a look at the updated, new and improved Betterbuild mod for Slime Rancher. It supports the 0.4 content, so that's all the Indigo Quarry stuff, that's all the lucky slimes. It's the slime science stuff as well. Everything's in here, so we're going to be taking a look at that. I'm going to show you guys how to use it. There's a link below so you can go ahead and download it yourself if you've got the latest version of Slime Rancher. I'm going to be doing a series on it, so, you know, stay tuned for that. We may even start it today. Remember, if you like this mod, consider donating to Sadie, the developer. A lot of work has gone into this, hundreds of hours, and donating will help him improve it, keep it going, keep it updated, because it will need updates in the future when the game changes. So definitely consider doing that. Installation's very easy once you run the executable. At most, you may need to tell it where your Slime Rancher folder is located. So let's get this mod started. Down in the bottom left, you can see the Betterbuild mods button. We're going to go ahead and click it. And it says here, it's got a little bit of information about the mod, how to use it and things like that. There's also a link there for the Discord channel. So if you're having problems with the mod, you're best to actually go to that. There's probably not a lot of point putting in the comments below because I'm not going to be able to help you out because I simply don't have time to troubleshoot your problems on this. But if you go to that Discord channel, you'll probably get some help there, so that'd be worthwhile. There's also a link to the channel as well. You're already here, so you probably don't need that, but that's okay. But if you've come to the channel from that link, thank you very much and welcome. We're going to go ahead and create a new level. We'll just call this one, I guess, kind of... actually, we might call it Fynnpire. Let's do that. It's a tutorial, but in case we actually continue on with this one, it'd be a suitable name to have. So here we are back at the ranch. Let's hit X, okay? And this brings us into builder mode. And you can see already all the gadget points, you know, the build points for the new gadgets. Up in the top right, we've got the objects, basically like a bunch of tabs or categories. If we click on one of them, you can see it's broken down a little bit further, so it's much like the old mod. It's very sort of similar in that sense. There's also a little favorites box there, so that if we find an object that we like, we can go ahead and just drag it across and keep it in the favorites there. You can also create new folders for things like that as well, so that's really good. So let's find something here. What do we got? Archipelago. Okay, what's in here? Cliff base. So like I said, this contains all the latest content. So we've got all the Indigo Quarry stuff. We've got all the volcanic island stuff. There's heaps, absolutely heaps. So let's just find an object that I was looking at earlier. Look at this, hole, cave roof hole. And if we spawn this thing is quite massive, but it's a big giant cave roof. The mod has changed a little bit in the sense that we don't sort of click it and then move it around with the mouse. We can actually use these little control points to move it around. So we've got the red one, the blue one, so we can move it side to side. The blue one moves it this way. And if we press 2, so just the number 2 on the keyboard, we change that to like a rotating tool. So we can kind of rotate it like this. We can rotate it that way, and we can rotate it around like that as well. And I'm just clicking and dragging those control points. So that's how that works. If we hit 3, we change it to scaling control points. So we can actually scale this object in different dimensions. You couldn't do that with the previous mod. You were basically stuck to like a fixed scale. You could make it much bigger and much smaller, but it always stayed the same shape. Let's cover the ranch area. I'm just going to move it like this. Hopefully that's right. I might need to move it up a little bit. Yeah, that looks a little... Actually, no, that's pretty good. All right, now we need to hit Save Object. Actually, before we do that, you can see you can also manually enter in the figures and things like that as well. So in case you wanted to fine-tune the size or the rotation of something. So let's hit Save. Now that's there, and you can see it's put that over on the hierarchy on the left. That's in case we want to select it again and start modifying it. Much easier than doing that in the previous mod. We can also put these in different folders. So if I go, let's go Ranch, create a new folder, we'll call it Ranch, and that puts that there. We can drag this down, well, drag it right there. And now that's in like a ranch folder. So if we move on to like a different area later on, we can actually create a different folder for that. And you can kind of keep it nice and neatly organized. Maybe like a huge tree. Do we have any big trees? That thing's huge. Let's put that in the middle of the hole there. So let's just slide that along. I'm just using these control points. That works really well. If you get stuck with anything, you can actually hit the escape key. And the escape key brings up some settings here. So you can see if we press F2, F3, F4, and F5, it changes the time. So the day cycle, you can actually change it so that it's a little bit easier to see what you're doing. And it's also got the aforementioned controls for changing the move, rotation, and scale. And you'll notice we can copy something that we've selected already. So if we just go back, I'm just going to jump back into the builder mode. Here we go. Here we go. All right. I've blocked off the steps there, but that doesn't matter. All right. So like I said, we can actually copy something. So if I select this tree again and I hit Control C, that's copied it. See this? And now when I slide it out. Now that also applies if you've changed the actual dimensions in any particular way. Let's maybe get in there some like, maybe some light streams or something. What are they called? Light shafts. Can we get those? And I'm just using the little search box up here, which makes it so much easier. Okay, light shaft. Let's move that just to where we expect the light to be coming through. So like over this way and up here. I'm not really happy with the size of this tree though. I wouldn't mind this tree being a bit bigger. So I'm just going to save that. And I'm going to go back and select my giant tree, and I'm going to try and resize it. So I'm just going to move it up this way a little bit so I can still see the control points. Change to scale, and I might just move this over so I can give myself some space in that big giant cave hole. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to make it a little bit fatter, quite significantly fatter, and this way as well, and then probably taller, much taller. Okay, now we're going to need to bring this down. And look at this! Look at this, this is awesome! Look at this cave! And look at this tree! The tree is massive! That's a cool looking tree. Okay, it hasn't really rendered much of the level here because our body's actually technically quite far away at the moment. But you may recognize this part in the Indigo Quarry, where if you're running across here, you may sort of reach this part where this is all water. And normally, if you've been sprinting along, you kind of have to stop and wait for your jetpack to come back, or your energy, so that you can jetpack across here just to get up to this side. And that really bugs me. It kind of annoys me that I have to stop here and wait. Wouldn't it be great if we could just have a bridge that went straight across? And yeah, you can do that. There we go. If we move that there, and then across this way. And look at that. Look at that. We've completed the bridge. We completed the bridge. So now we can sprint across without having to worry about, you know, wasting our jetpack or wasting the energy to be able to jetpack across. So like I mentioned, this particular mod is still being improved on. It is just a version 1 at the moment. There is one thing that people have been asking for which you can't do yet, and that is create slime spawners. So you can't spawn any slimes at the moment or any plorts, but we do have Gordos. That's right, we can spawn a Gordo now. You guys were always asking me in my previous videos to spawn some Gordos, and you couldn't do it, but now we can. Look at this. We can put our own Gordos in the game. And I need to spin him around so we can actually see his face. See that? That's awesome. Look at this. Look at this. It's a boom Gordo. Now this currently isn't in the game, right? It's in the mod because it is part of the gaming, I guess, code, and it is there is obviously the model here to be able to use it, but the developers haven't actually implemented this in any of the game yet. Boom Gordo. There we go. All right, so let's save that. And let's hit X. Look at these guys. They're actual living things. We can do stuff with them. Here we go. Let's feed this Boom Gordo some chickens. Awesome. Loves the chickens. I'm gonna have to do a video where I actually pop this guy and we'll see what's inside. I'm guessing it's probably like another key or something like that, even though there might even be an abundance of keys at the moment. I'm not too sure. Anyway, I'm gonna start wrapping this video up. I'm gonna be doing a series on this new mod, so look out for that. I will have my face cam. I just didn't have face cam for this video because it's more of an introduction type thing, and I don't think it needs the face cam. So like I mentioned, the links are in the description below. But thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time.